What's going on, y'all?
Here we are.
It's time for what will probably be the finale of Trash Compactor.
Yeah.
Unless this just goes way longer than we think it's going to go, we should be able to finish all the matches. We have a potential of 4 matches. We definitely have 3 matches. So it's going to be Mando versus Leia in the upper bracket. The loser of that game faces Mando in the finale of the losers bracket. And the winner of that game goes back up to face the winner of the first game. And if they somehow win that game, we then go to a 4th match.
Yes. So to be fully eliminated, a deck needs to lose twice. Right now, Leia and Hondo have no losses. Mando's coming into this at a disadvantage of 1 loss. So
Yep.
Mando is in sudden death territory. Leia and Hondo can both afford to drop a match, but still have a chance to win the tournament. So, we had another. This isn't the Bizarre. You're correct.
I changed the category, right?
Surely you did.
I thought I did.
Surely you did. Maybe we're.
I
there's
did.
no such thing as bad publicity.
I did change it, right? It says board games. Yeah, we're good.
So, yeah, exactly. It's actually, I think it's been a TTR tradition for us to put some sort of big thing up on Super Bowl day.
Yeah,
I think so. Like,
Yeah.
unironically, I think we've done a lot of like really big, important streams on Super Bowl. I'd have to go back over the years.
We have also streamed like during the Super Bowl
Yeah,
before.
yeah, we have done that as well. Just, who cares, right? But yeah, I think we could cover the bands real fast. Pershing is out.
Great. I was 2 thumbs up on that choice, guys.
Razor Crest is out.
2 thumbs down on that choice. Sucks. But I think that was like the most likely card to get banned from Mando.
I think so. I mean, Mando is a deck that's been hit a whole lot. I think Mando is lucky to be where it is right now.
The notification.
The notification.
Okay, yeah, this thing. Okay, that only happens to like people that are just with the Star War.
With a Star War.
Live with Star War. That doesn't matter now anyway. But
Yeah.
I will forget if I don't change that right for next time.
Tomorrow we're probably playing like not a Star War, right?
Probably not. But like.
So Leia lost for a cause I believe in, which I think is not the most potent loss in the deck. I do think it is. I don't think that's like a death knell against Hondo.
And like it also opens up more options for Leia's deck building because she was really built around for a cause hitting 4 times. So now you can feel better about subbing in cards in the sideboard or playing cards that don't have the heroism tag.
Timely is better.
Timely's better, yeah. I just straight replaced 4 cause with Daring Raid.
Yeah.
It's 2 damage, it costs 1.
Yeah.
It can hit units.
Yeah, it might be scenarios where you only need 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
It's a Daring Raid gets there. Hondo, I took out Pershing's, I tweaked some of the numbers, added like a couple Viper Probe droids main, added some devotions to the sideboard just because I like this card as a sideboard card against aggro decks. A lot of times, if you can get devotion on your leader, the aggro deck can't afford to kill the leader, and this will give you enough of a recovery that the aggro deck just can't win after a certain point in the game, right?
Mando, I just kind of adjusted some numbers on stuff, like add another Emphas Nest because like I feel like you need some kind of finisher now in the deck. And
Emphas Nest has got Saboteur.
She's got Saboteur, and she's removal. Yeah. So pretty good. Add another Survivor's Gauntlet because that's just another space threat. We lost 3 space threats in the deck, so that kind of sucks. The 4-drop slot is kind of a question mark right now in Mando. Also, because that was one of the things you wanted to be playing on for.
The deck also lost Qi'ra, right?
It lost Qi'ra earlier.
So
it's all bad. It's all really bad.
Kanan just doesn't do it, in my opinion.
No.
All right, we're going to get into the first game here. Leia versus Hondo. Got some decent spoilers since the pilot Vader. The Iden was really cool. Cad Green really cool. Won New Jersey PQ. I like that there's like always some sort of another deck that's kind of winning a PQ, right?
This season's been much better than last season, right? With the removal of Boba Fett, it's certainly opened up to a lot of stuff. We had our complaints about the meta and like Tarkin Town and whatever, but
yeah,
it's pretty good. A pretty wide variety of stuff is hitting. I'm hoping that the pilots can make a splash. I think from the more stuff we've seen from the set, the more likely I am to think that there's going to be some really, really strong decks coming out of the next set.
Yeah. I think there's like specific tempo plays that can occur.
Dark Saxon Yellow looking real nice.
Animal Handler on set, please. Animal Handler, yes. But you're excited? Are you excited about the finals?
He's so pumped about these finals.
He's so pumped about the finals.
There you go. All right, let's get.
No Zuckuss. I can see no Zuckuss, but I'm not like the biggest Zuckuss fan. I know I lost him on stream time and time again, but what you did not see was me losing with Zuckuss in my hand on stream time and time again.
Sometimes he's just way too slow. Like you can't afford to. He doesn't play him.
Yeah, if you Forlom
okay.
Zuckuss, that's sick. If you just run out Zuckuss on 5, nothing else, that feels miserable. So. Do I have time to goof around?
Against Leia?
This goes there.
I don't know, man.
Do I have time for this card? I think the answer is no. I think I have to be playing cards up and down the curve. A 15.
A 16.
Ah! We done flipped the script. Alright, I am going to play Inferno 4. We're going to take a look. And we're shipping these to the bottom.
Marine.
I'll take initiative.
Yes. They went Emphasis Nest Ambush unit instead, since there's a decent bit of that in the deck. That's pretty. I like that call.
Emphasis Nest.
She's Underworld too, right?
Yeah. That is a good card. I am going to play the Magna Guard.
I'm gonna play another Marine.
I will take the initiative.
I'll pass.
I'm going to play Childson. I'm going to show you a Pike Sentinel and a Vigilance.
So it's a 4/4?
Yeah.
Can't really be throwing away 2 Battlefield Marines here. I'll play K2.
The 4/4 is going to attack you for 2.
I will take initiative.
This Magna Guard will kill a Battlefield Marine. There's like an argument to get damage in there, I think. Okay, and then I will pass.
I'm gonna play Dodonna.
Okay. I will smuggle a collection Starhopper. I will use Hondo and buff the Magna Guard.
Okay. I'll use Leia. I'll have Battlefield Marine fight Fieldson, and I'll have K2 fight the Magna Guard. So trample in for 2.
I'll play a Pike Sentinel.
I'll deploy Leia.
I will take the initiative.
I'll attack the Pike Sentinel. I'm going to Metal Ceremony here and here, and pass. Is Metal Ceremony the actual card that needed to be banned from this deck? I don't know. We didn't put it up for ban, did we? No. I felt like one of the 2 drops was a bigger hit for Leia than For Cause was.
Yeah, I think so. The Green Squadron, like I think that's the thing you actually want to get rid of. I'm gonna smoke Leia with Rival's Fall, I think.
I'll attack you for 4.
I will attack you for 2.
I'll attack you for 5.
At 6.
6.
Attack you for 2.
Play Gorilla, attack pod. Is not gonna ready.
Okay. I will deploy Hondo.
Take initiative.
Hondo will kill Dodonna. And then I will pass.
Alright, I'm gonna Leia the attack pod into Hondo. And K2 for 5.
Old Vader. 5, 10. We'll go see what we get before we decide what we're going to ambush here. I'll get a Magna Guard. And I'll have Vader take out K2.
Alright, I'll do 3. I'll play Dodonna.
I'll take initiative.
I'll play red 3. I'll play Metal Ceremony. And pass.
I'm far less upset about the Metal Ceremony on that turn than I was the previous turn.
It could have been good, but
far less upset about it. Okay.
Attack bot is dead. At least it's not dead to a Magna Guard attack.
Tell you what, let's maul Is Maul correct here? I don't know that Maul is correct. I think it's Vader. It's just this thing. Is this correct? Is this correct? I have several solid plays, and I don't know which one reduces the damage the most. Vader into Dodonna. Okay, Vader into Dodonna, I think. Magna Guard. Where is it? Here we go. Magna Guard gets Sentinel.
Okay. Kill Magna Guard, attack you for 3. This is 3 now.
Okay, I'm gonna Snoke.
Kiss you.
Starhopper will kill Red 3.
Take an ish.
Attack you for 2. And then pass.
Rebel Assault K2 for 3. You like medieval RPGs? You're talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance? Not really. I don't hate the game's cool though. Watch the
Is that Obsidian?
Obsidian game? It's kind of like that.
Okay. I knew there's apparently like a new Obsidian RPG that's coming out.
Forsworn?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually was Pillars of Eternity Obsidian.
Yeah.
Was Pillars of Eternity 2 Obsidian?
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I played an Obsidian game. I think it may have been Fallout New Vegas. So okay. 26. I don't have to worry about for a cause, so I'm just gonna attack you for 2, I think.
Echo-based Defender.
Okay.
Played the first one, have been watching people play it. Yeah, I watched some streams of it. Looks pretty cool. Oh, it's not like I don't really like single player games. So, but I like watching other people play. Avowed is the new Obsidian game. Okay. That's the one I saw it on like the BNet launcher.
How about Vigilance, the Echo-based Defender, and gain 5?
Take an issue.
We have some sort of smuggle down here. That's a negative. Nothing I can afford, at least. Let's hit you for 6. And then hit you for 2. You're at 18. Let's pass. Let's put that down there.
Life lost.
Okay. I have a Maul to run over K2.
Snook. Alright.
The Dodonnas. Dodonna.
These get in this. They're decent.
Something like this, perhaps. I think it's something like that.
This is also decent. This is also decent. Okay.
I think you are out.
This is out.
You're out. You're out. So I brought out one of you. Funny enough, there was a turn. That's why I resourced resupply, but there was actually a turn where I think resupply would have been really good, and that was the Dodonna turn because I could have played Hondo and had Hondo kill Dodonna, yeah, I think that would have like put the game away. But instead, Dodonna plus Metal Ceremony meant you actually got like way more value out of those guys.
K2 especially was like 15 damage or something.
Yeah. The vast majority of the damage done in that game was because of K2.
Yeah.
So.
Also, if you guys are interested, speaking of Bazaar, I did a Bazaar stream on Friday.
Yeah.
And I treated it like a like a literal intro to the game. You've never seen the game before. Here's how the game works.
Yeah, there was actually quite a few people I saw in the comment section that were like, "Hey, I've seen some of this game, but still had no idea how it worked." And so yeah, it's a pretty good intro to the game. So
there's chances.
Yeah,
there's certainly chances. Not opposed to it.
This is a pretty good patch.
I would say I think it's pretty good.
It's probably the best patch that they've had.
Yeah, it's probably the most balanced patch right now.
Yeah.
I still have some issues with the amount of shield people get, but I mean...
Yeah, so interestingly, I do think you end up with like a paper, rock, scissory kind of...
Yeah.
Which I don't hate.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how you can get around that problem.
Yeah,
right?
the thing is
you might have a really good poison build, but your poison build leads to the build that drains a bunch of shield and hits you for their shield value.
Well, yeah,
you know?
Yeah, if the shield thing doesn't, if the shield build doesn't have something that bases damage or healing off of the shield, then the poison builds beat it. And then, funny enough, there's like the iceberg builds and stuff at the late game, at the Omega late game, beat all those builds anyway, just because it's like you use something, now I've disrupted what you're doing. So.
Yeah, me and Nathan were talking about doing like just a brain trust streams of it, where like we're actually both streaming and we're doing one run together.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty fun.
Your first few runs against the computer are against bots, which is not a bad thing because it does let you learn the game.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
like, the bot enemies.
Yeah, you play against bot humans for about the first 3 runs, and just look at their HP totals, and you'll know. You fight like the first 4 or 5 days. You fight against HP totals that are only like 100.
Are they like set builds, set Vanessa builds?
Yeah, they have names. They have names, and they have like they are like competent builds or whatever, relatively competent. But
they're like this is kind of what you would expect to be fighting.
But the thing is, they have like 1/5 the hit points of like an actual person, so you're more likely to actually win against them. But don't like just you got to get your sea legs, so to speak, with Vanessa, just to understand like how the game functions. So
it's really fun to me when I was first learning it too, like browsing through the shops and looking through all the items. Like there's so much there. There's
so many eureka moments when you're playing the game.
You're like, oh, well, I see how these two things work together. That's really cool.
I will play a probe droid.
Red 3, Echo Base Defender, Respect 4 Soldier.
Okay. Good.
Taking. Tiger 3. Fentanyl was OP.
I'll play a Calculating Magna Guard.
Play Red 3.
Let's kill Jim.
Take it.
I'll pass.
Hit you for 3.
The eternal question in Star Wars. I'm going to play a Pike Sentinel.
K2.
I'm going to put Devotion on the Magna Guard.
Take initiative.
The Magna Guard's going to attack K2. I will restore 2.
I'll do 3.
Okay.
Take initiative. Did I already take initiative? I'm taking initiative.
Alright, pass.
I've taken initiative. I'm gonna daring raid the Magna Guard.
Vanquish Red 3.
Fighters.
Attack you for 2.
Deploy Leia.
Take initiative.
Spec Force. I'll delete the Sentinel on
Sure.
that guy. I'll attack you for 4. And 1 from the fighters for that guy too. And then I'll Metal Ceremony Leia. And pass.
Pike with Spec Force.
I'll attack the Spec or the Pike Sentinel and attack you for 3.
Okay. I'm going to deploy Hondo.
Deploy Echo Base Defender.
I'm going to Vigilance, Echo Base, and gain 5.
Me, Nathan, complaining about this. Insert Nathan ran about this. I'll do 1 damage with the A-Wing.
Complaining about this. Let's kill the fighters.
Taking it.
Pass.
Okay. Leia attack. A-Wing attack. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's maul Leia. So I'll
5
take
damage.
4. She has 5 health remaining.
Yes.
So you take 2, right?
Yes. I'll play an X-Wing.
I will take initiative, I guess.
I'll play an R2. Bottom. Pass.
And 5 for a Vigilant Pursuit craft.
I'll take it for 1. Top.
Maul you for 7.
I'm gonna lay these into craft. Eddie.
Hondo into you for 4.
I'll play K2.
I will Perilous Position the K2.
Taking it.
Pass. Guess I could have taken initiative and perilous them. That might have been better.
But then you're like down resources this turn, so I guess it just depends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Leia K2 into Maul and R2 into you.
Okay.
So K2 is gonna do 3 to you, R2 1, and I'll look at the top card. Bottom.
I am going to smuggle in a collection Star Hopper and we'll give Hondo the experience.
And play a attack pod.
I will perilous position the attack pod.
Take initiative.
Hondo the attack pod, perhaps. I need to win the game at some point, but yeah, we'll Hondo the attack pod. So 2 damage, and I would like kill to have drawn a covert strength, covert whatever, but I have not seen one. So
I'm gonna play a Rogue Squadron Skirmisher and skirmish Hondo.
Okay.
I can get a cost 2 or less from a discard pile to my hand. Is Green Squadron too slow? I mean, I guess it doesn't die to that Star Hopper unless you XP it, which you could very easily do. Jin is pretty killable by most stuff, but she does pose a bit of a threat. The Spec Force Soldier, very possibly relevant. I guess that's probably the most important. Maybe. We'll see.
I'll play a Magna Guard.
Okay. I'll take initiative.
Tick down on the Rogue Squadron. Finally, a covert strength on the Star Hopper. Hondo died this turn. Smuggle. And then the Star Hopper is going to hit you for 3. And then I will pass. I'm going to resource nothing.
Anonymous. 10 gifted subs.
The return of the mysterious benefactor.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Much appreciated.
Thank you quite a bit.
R2 is going to hit you for 1.
Okay. R2 has become the top target.
Okay. May I present a different top target?
What you can... I'll tell you what you can target. That is my bunghole.
Yeah.
I'm going to smuggle in timely intervention. And it's going to be a calculating Magna Guard. This is for the smuggle there. We're going to use Hondo to buff the Magna Guard. And then he is going to ambush R2. And I will gain 6 off the top target.
And this is Sentinel?
This is Sentinel, yes.
And just that one right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll play the Spec Force and remove that Sentinel.
Okay. I will crash into the attack pod. Returning Sentinel. Two-furring myself. 3 damage, 6 damage, 24. You get 4. Attack, you get initiative. You have 1 open.
1 open.
We can kill the Spec Force, keep you from laying me. Alright, I'll attack the Spec Force.
Okay. I'll hit you for 4.
Okay. I will Star Hopper you for 3. Maybe that's where maybe this is where I take initiative. 18. I'm looking at, I think I take initiative here.
Okay, I'll pass.
Okay. I guess there's no reason not to resource that. Okay. I am going to timely intervention. And smuggle. And I'll play a Ruthless Assassin. He'll do 2 damage to himself. And then he'll crash into the attack pod. And then these guys will both gain Sentinel. And then I will Hondo the Star Hopper, I think.
Play X-Wing. I'm really glad that you don't have more than 1 vigilance.
Because it would not be...
It would be horrible right here,
yeah.
right? It would be...
Vigilance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
4 gets you to 22. I will hit you for 4 with this Magna Guard.
Play K2.
Hit you for 3 with this Magna Guard.
Take initiative.
Covert Strength, the Star Hopper.
Okay.
Finish you off.
Okay. There you got it.
Magna Guards.
Yeah. They're pretty good. Especially like being able to regain Sentinel after I removed it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it is what it is. Alright, Leia versus
D-sideboard real
Mando.
fast.
Yeah, I need to do that. Hondo 2-0. Too powerful. Mark Love, CS. With the Prime.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that. 8 months. Alright, you can take Leia.
Alright. You play your
Give him Mando.
precious
I have to see Mando
Mandalorian.
to the grave if that is his fate. Leia feels like a much more functional deck than Mando feels at the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing how, like, despite Leia's minus Leia's probably the second most hit deck. I mean, at this point in the tournament,
For
right?
sure,
because, I mean, you're going to
Hondo
lose.
wasn't hit very much at all, really.
The Hondo was benefited from everybody underneath it losing out immediately. So there was like one round of bans, and so Hondo lost like what? Overwhelming Barrage
from Power of the Dark Side.
Power of the Dark Side for sure, but
from like other people's bans.
Yeah. Whereas like both Leia and Mando lost stuff because the heroic decks did so much better after the first rounds. Plus Hondo benefited from just being the only deck that played some of its cards, right? So all the rebel heroes kind of like joined the Leia bandwagon, but she still stands tall over them at this point.
That action is just really good.
Yeah.
Leia with new ships stuff might be pretty dang good.
I think it's like a legit deck.
I think it's so. I think it might be.
I think it could be very well a legit deck. Because you could go wide and you're not punished.
Yeah, like with tokens and stuff. It's like very easy to get the tokens. Oh, I guess they're not rebels. That's the problem. So they can't get the bonus attack. But if you're getting bonus attacks with stuff,
I mean, the guy who puts the X-wing tokens into play is a rebel, right? He's green, and he also deploys the same turn as Leia. So he's a very solid like ECL candidate because he would put 2 X-wing tokens into play.
But you can't play ECL with Leia. Problem. Mono green rebels. Maybe mono green's probably very.
I mean, the thing is
good.
Like blue leader.
Like, you get blue leader. Metal ceremony is that much better.
Yeah. You get blue leader, Neon Numb.
5.
Command is probably disgusting.
5. 15. 7.
Because you could command the to deploy Leia, right? I think this card is substantially less good. And I think we gotta go up the curve.
Luke Leia Twin Sons will be a menace. Luke's ping and Leia's action economy is disgusting.
I'll play Alliance X-Wing.
I'll play R2. I'll discard a crafty smuggler. I'll draw this guy.
I'll take it.
Pass.
Attack you for 2.
Take you for 2.
I'll play red 3.
Yoda.
I'll take initiative.
Pass.
Leia for 6.
Yeah. Take it for 2.
I'll play Dodonna.
Take it for 2.
I'll metal ceremony these.
I will spare the target to Donna.
I'll take initiative.
I'll put Public Enemy on red 3. And pass.
All right, we'll Leia you for 8.
This feels pretty bad. Hit you for 2.
Deploy Leia.
Play Gauntlet. That can stay there.
Play Dodonna.
Hit you for 2.
Leia you for 5.
Take initiative.
Pass.
How I not die? I guess I will take down the red 3.
Okay.
I'll get a shield token here. Or Yoda. I'll get on Yoda.
I'll Leia for 5, X-Wing for 4.
Dead. I'm dead. I'm dead to death. Okay.
Beaten to death by an old man.
Alright. Well, this matchup is certainly unwinnable if you have initiative, I feel like. Because that whole game, I was like, if I had initiative,
you could do something.
I could do something, but I can literally never take initiative because you just have already attacked with all your stuff.
Keep the foot on the gas the whole time.
Missed 2 Yoda restores. I don't think so. I did. I was hitting him.
I believe he tapped him.
Yeah. I was hitting him.
I mean, he could attack with Yoda there and not die to Dodonna, if that's what you're pointing out.
Oh yeah.
I had an attack pod in my hand. I don't know if that.
I had no answer to any things.
Yeah.
I had no way to be dead. If not that turn, the next turn for sure.
Just gotta stay fast.
No worries.
You're fine.
We do need Twitch chat to keep us in check.
Yeah, we miss stuff all of the time.
Yeah.
So. Run it back, no sideboard. Don't need a sideboard.
These don't even do anything. I'll just run it back. We'll get this over with. I have an issue this time. Surely it'll be okay.
Oh, this Leia deck is with K2s in it is probably like $20.
Yeah. K2s, red 3s, and that's it?
Oh yeah, red 3s.
Yeah.
So like $30.
It's like a waste of time for it to play into the stupid legendaries too. Lorance colors. I have like one home, one sideboard, and I probably I didn't bring it in last time, but I probably will against Hondo if Mando somehow loses this match. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I'm gonna mulligan this.
Yeah. In the next set, like the thing is like the pilots can still be played as units, right?
Yeah.
So if you're playing against control and you know your opponent's going to try to power the dark side, you don't like equip the pilot. You just play the pilots, right? As units, and a lot of them have serviceable bodies. A lot of them are like, what was it? Biggs was a 3/4 for 3, so he's either like God mode pilot or
a decently statted unit.
Unit, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention Bright Hope is better because you could Bright Hope back one of your pilots, draw a card on top of that, right?
I guess same with that Rogue Squadron Skirmisher.
Yeah, it only gets units that cost 2 or less, but still
from the discard pile.
But like Nia Nub is, I think he costs less than 2. So
it's also a vehicle.
Right, so you can put. I mean that you can put Biggs on the Rogue Squadron thing, and it gets grit or whatever, right? Because he gives grit to speeders.
Exactly.
So
crafty.
I'll take initiative. I have a gen. I just play it and it dies, so I think it's better off me not doing that. I will play Cassian.
Zero for 2.
I'll take initiative.
I'll spare the target, Cassian. And pass.
I guess I'll play a K2.
Hey, you for 2.
I'll take initiative.
I'm gonna take down K2.
3 cards in hand. Discard a card.
The Electro Staff.
Value that more than the damage in this board state. I'll play a Fighters for Freedom.
You for 2.
Play a gen and do a damage to you with Fighters for Freedom.
Play a Gauntlet.
I will take initiative.
Okay, pass.
I'm gonna Leia. We'll have the Fighters for Freedom kill the Crafty Smuggler, and then Jen will hit you for 4.
Play the Mandalorian. This one was about to get shield value for the first time in the history of ever.
The funny thing is the Saboteur, which
just deletes him.
Ignores him, kills Crafty Smuggler, 3/3 shields.
It's actually really stupid. So, you know, who cares?
Deploy Dodonna.
The Mandalorian.
Deploy Leia.
Thank you for 4.
Play an X-Wing.
And take initiative.
Crash Leia into the Mandalorian unit or leave her healthy. I get a bunch of damage into it. I can get exhausted. I think I want the damage in the Mandalorian, so I'll attack the Mandalorian unit.
It's fine.
And then I will pass. Do I have time for this card? I think the answer is no.
Perilous and exhaust Leia.
Okay. They're not dead because Dodonna is
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
not dead yet.
Not dead.
Not dead currently.
It's
Okay.
actually kind of better. Oh, no, that's one enemy unit. Okay.
Echo Base Defender.
Rifle. Exhaust and capture Dodonna. So this explodes.
Daring raid on the Mandalorian.
I'll fight this X-Wing.
Green Squadron A-Wing.
I'll take initiative.
Attack you for 4 with Jim. Pass.
Perilous. Let's kill Leia. I'll exhaust. Jin.
Five, 9. Rebel Assault.
will attack the A-Wing.
Smuggle in Cassian.
Play a jetpack. Exhaust Cassian.
Daring raid you for 2. I could ping off the shield if I wanted Mandalorian in a spot where he could die. But if he attacks here, I can seize initiative on this action and then get Cassian and Jet in.
Okay, pass.
I can also draw a Rebel Assault and hit you for 8.
8's a lot. I will attack you for 4.
Bright Hope. I think I bounced nothing. You gotta answer like 2 things. There's an argument to bounce Cassian so that I can smuggle him in. So that somewhere on the next turn I can smuggle him in ready to go for extra damage. It feels kind of cute. Also drawing a card here, I could like hit another Daring Raid if I played 2. I have played 2. It's kind of a long shot, but there's a chance. Hands on head mode.
I think I have to take initiative, which sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian's just been sitting on the table ready to do like a fuck ton of damage, but I can never actually attack with him.
Yeah. That's the difference. So that's the difference between Mando versus Control versus Mando versus Aggro, right? Mando versus Control, Mando's like, I'm the aggressor, I get the damage in. Mando versus Aggro is like, I gotta put out fires. So
like if I play, I don't think I can win because even if I take initiative, I have to deal with 3 things at once. I don't think I have a way to do that.
You can you got a
vigilance. I could rip vigilance. Okay,
you can rip vigilance.
That's my out.
Yeah,
that's my out. I'll take initiative.
Okay, pass.
I didn't. I got Luke.
Okay,
that just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't quite do it.
Does not do it.
You can't like ambush him in.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, Mando.
You tried.
You're dead now.
Season 3 Mando.
Yeah.
Leia has the Darksaber now.
Sorry, buddy. Respectable.
All right, do you want Leia back or you want Hondo?
I'll take Leia.
Okay.
I can more easily pilot Leia because you've been playing Hondo the whole time. Okay.
I don't think. I mean, even in this game, I don't think aggro is brain dead.
No, it's
There's
not.
a lot of like. There is a right time to trade with stuff. Right.
Yeah, you have to you have to figure out, make that decision. Right. Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that turn hinged on the turn where there was like everything on the board. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Like there were a lot of ways to navigate that turn for both decks. I don't know what you had in your hand, but I was trying to get maximum damage from what I had available. And yeah, I could have played that turn a couple different ways.
I wonder if my play was to kill Jin and exhaust Leia. I don't know. Leia would have been dead next turn,
right?
Leia on leader side though is always getting her action, like,
yeah.
So like, that's also kind of a problem.
As long as you can keep initiative, you can then keep Leia exhausted
Mm-hmm.
if she's in play.
Although I did not think I was going to end up with initiative that turn. That's another problem with Mando is like when you play those turns where you're like you're getting the most out of his ability and you're exhausting stuff, you're almost definitely going to lose initiative.
Yeah,
that turn.
And honestly, his ability gets worse the fewer units there are on the table, right? Because I think that's like you killed me down to just a handful of things, and it was just like grab initiative, use Leia's ability. Grab initiative, use Leia's ability.
That was the problem the entire first game. That game was a little easier or a little better for me because I was able to like, just remove stuff as you played it instead of you attacking, playing a thing, etc.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about aggro in this game versus control decks. If you have got the initiative, you can always get value from your guy before they have a chance to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's like attack, they smoke your dude in play, you play another unit.
All of a sudden, then you have the aggression, or you have the initiative on the next turn too, yeah.
A 4, so you do have initiative.
Okay, that's good. I've been there.
I guess this. Okay. It's like it's the type of hand where I had a resupply, so the question is, do I resource the resupply? I have a lot of stuff low on the curve, so there's a good chance that I can interact with you in those turns.
Yeah,
and
you
then
like, kind of need to be interacting. If you need to be interacting, you need to be interacting.
Yeah, and then on turn 5, I can play like a 2-drop and then resupply in Hondo and get some tempo. So okay. So
this is possibly the last game. This is all perhaps for all
and what may very well be the finals, unless it isn't.
We will find out who won the Nala say after this finishes, and I will contact them via their email that they put into challenge.
All right, I guess I'll play Inferno 4.
I'll take initiative.
And then I will pass. What if you just drew insane? What if that happened?
Is it insane for me to kill this? I don't think this is insane. I'm gonna kill this Inferno 4.
Okay.
Because like if you experience buff it, that's really bad for me. And like all of a sudden I cannot kill it anymore.
I'll leave that on top. I'll send this to the bottom.
I know it sounds crazy to leave damage on the table with Leia, but
I'm gonna play a Ruthless Assassin.
R2.
I'll play a Salacious Crumb.
Jin.
I will take initiative.
Pass.
I'm going to covert strength the assassin. And then we're going to Hondo the assassin.
Leia. I think it's Jin into Salacious. Yet again, I know this is crazy. And then I'll attack you for 4. Or 3.
Assassin, I'll take out R2 and overwhelm you for 1.
Marine.
I'll take initiative.
Marine. Pass.
No, that's not resource. Absolutely resource you. I'm gonna perilous Jin.
He's dead. I'll lay these Marines into your face.
I'll play Inferno 4.
Hit you for 3.
Ruthless Assassin will take out a Marine and trample for 2.
Deploy Leia.
I'll take initiative.
Deploy Cassie. Okay, this is 4 and 7 total. And pass.
Assassin into Cassian.
Okay, Leia and the A-Wing for 7.
I guess I'll take down the Battlefield Marine.
Attack pod.
Next game.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
On the play. I think that card is better on the play. Staring at Darth Maul's dumbass in my hand.
That's the way I like it.
I got rid of it timely, but I think that may have been a mistake.
Although technically Darth Maul does not have an ass because it was cut off.
Staring at his robot ass.
He's got robot spider ass.
I think the correct call was to actually keep the resupply in my hands, because if I had played Hondo, I would have stopped damage on that other turn. These have to come in. Yeah, that game was like 100% not having the initiative.
The Leia, it is night and day. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Anakin in that way. Game was 100% not having the initiative. I mean, there maybe could have been like a couple of decisions I could have made differently. Like I could have killed Jyn with the Relentless, but I was like trying to save some damage. Are you actually good in this matchup? Maybe you're not. Are you good in this matchup? I don't know. I don't know. You'll sit in the sideboard for now. We'll see if I regret it. See if I regret. No Magna Guards. No Magna Guards. Again, overrun on the ground. No Magna Guards to be seen.
Yep, that's pretty
No Childsons. No Magna Guards, no Childsons, no Pike Sentinels.
That assassin did a lot of work, though.
Yeah, he did.
He did a lot of damn work.
Killed a lot of guys, and he actually got some trample damage in, too, which is kind of sick. But yeah, I wonder if I wondered the correct play was to just... Because I could have, instead of Covert, I had a Perilous. So I wonder if I could have just traded Perilous. And that may have been the right play. That may have been the right play. I may have gotten a little greedy. I was trying to establish like a counter, especially since you were trading with my guys. I was trying to establish like a counter clock.
That's also really hard to do against Leia, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to do if she has presence in both arenas because she can like kill the thing that is trying to clock and then also attack in the other arena. All right.
This is not good.
Resource that for sure. Resource you. Leia has to win 3 more games. Hondo has to win 2 more games.
Yep, exactly.
Hondo could drop this game, and then we start the next set again. I will play a Pike Sentinel.
A wing.
I guess I'll take initiative.
Pass.
I'm going to resupply.
Or 3.
Take initiative. I guess you're always.
You can hit, yeah.
I'll attack you for 2. You're always going to attack me for 3.
Yeah, it's 4, so I ain't not attacking for 4. That's for damn sure. Pass. I ain't gonna never not attack for 4.
Vigilant Pursuit Craft.
Fly into it for 4.
Attack you for 2.
I'm gonna daring raid it.
Take initiative.
Play X-Wing. Attack you for 3.
It's you. I suppose it is you. Takedown on red 3.
Edge for 2.
I will deploy Hondo.
I'll deploy Cassian.
Attack you for 2.
I'll fight the Sentinel.
I'll Hondo Cassian before you get the reward medal there.
I'll take initiative.
I'll play it in front of 4. And then I'll pass.
Look at your top 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Perfect. Couldn't ask for a better top 2.
Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. I'll get back an O-wing.
Maul. Trample for 4.
Two.
I'll attack the A-wing. Sorry, the X-wing.
Leia.
Take initiative.
Hit you for 4. Pass.
Maul Leia for 1 to your base.
Take it for 2.
Snoke.
I wish I had a snow cancer of any sort. Of any variety.
Choose sides.
Yep. That would have been good. Ain't the sideboard. So I'll play attack pod.
Take initiative.
Here for 2. Pass.
Okay. All right, I am going to pay 2 to Timely. I will so Sentinel, Timely, and a Magna Guard. I'm going to use Hondo to buff the Magna Guard, and then the Magna Guard's going to fight the Sentinel there.
Yeah, we can move on.
Tech pod.
We can move on.
Looking at a bunch of 0 power guys here. 0 and 1.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny how cognitively you look at Snoke and you're like, I don't know about this guy. But then you play against Snoke and there's a lot of situations where you just put Snoke on the table and dumb stuff starts happening. And your opponent's just like, oh.
Yep. Now my cards are basically blank.
My cards are blank. Here's the initiative.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not happy about that. I think resupply got me that game. think resupply did, because I was
dumping in some damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You were getting the damage because I had opted to resupply, but the resupply got me to the stuff that like let me get control of the game faster.
Exactly.
So
This could be possibly for all the marbles.
And what very well may possibly be the last game. Unless it isn't.
But it might be. My out to Snoke is daring raiding him 3 times, I guess.
Hitting him with the snow speeder for 2.
Yeah, daring raid twice.
Daring raid twice.
It's real bad.
Attacking Leia into him for 4, then hitting him with daring raid.
For 2 with Leia.
No,
it's
Snoke is non-leader. We get that wrong all the time.
That's true.
We get that wrong all the time, but Snoke is non-leader, so.
That's true.
You for sure. And I guess you. Okay. A wing. Let's probe droids. I know what I'm working against here.
X-Wing, Defender, R2.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Pass.
Three.
Take it for 3.
Defender.
Take initiative.
Pass.
Probe droid and echo base.
3.
Chilton, shade 4 blue.
X-Wing.
Take initiative.
R2. Owl Metal Ceremony. Pass.
Pursuit craft.
Number 3.
Chilton your dome for 6.
Leia there and base. 3.
Take initiative.
She's 3/6. I think I gotta kill it. Play Leia. I'll attack. I guess I don't. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'll attack and then attack. I'll look at the top card. Bottom. Pass.
Well, vigilance for 3, so smoke it and gain 5.
2.
I'll deploy Hondo.
Attack pod.
I'll Hondo your base for 4.
Initiative.
Pass. Holy crap.
Exactly what I want to hear. Six.
Sure. Okay. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna timely smuggle a Chilton. Show you 4 blues. So Chilton's gonna smoke the pod. Smoking on that gorilla attack pack.
Oh, what was in your hand?
My hand was covert, calculating magna guard, long pike.
This man does cost. I got 4 blues. 4 blues. 4 blues. Trust.
I'll leave them on the table.
I got 4 blues.
I'll Hondo Chilton. From Belgium, watching you on YouTube, but not today. I learned so much with your videos. Thank you very much. Hey, thanks.
Thank
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Welcome. I'll play a red 3.
I'm gonna Hondo you for 4.
A wing.
I'm gonna covert strength Chilton here.
Yep. Take initiative.
And then I will pass. Seven. Okay. Chilton is hitting for 8. Well, that's not enough to kill you. But yeah, we'll hit you for 8 with Chilton.
Three.
I am going to smuggle covert strength. I'll buff Hondo with his ability. I'll heal Chilton, give him experience.
I'll hope you attack Cassian instead of my base. Misclick.
Misclick, attack Cassian. I'll attack your base.
Hondo. Okay. Rip. Rip the dream, Leia. Congrats, Hondo. Hondo has emerged from the trash, unscathed.
Yeah.
Not even
reputation intact.
Yep.
A sterling businessman.
Barely stepped a foot in the old compactor.
With the destruction of the Galactic Consumer Financial Protection Board.
Yeah.
The Hondo's businesses practices are legal. And even encouraged.
Extremely encouraged. Okay. There you have it.
Hondo
the victor.
I don't want to say we saw this coming like a couple of bands away. I think Leia lost too much.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament.
Yeah. When we founded the channel, we wanted to do long form kind of stuff. That's what we started with, and it was for Keyforge. But I do like that for other games as well.
It's like easier for us too, and I think it
provides a structure that we both desperately need.
We need structure.
We desperately need a structure.
So I mean, like if we did this type of tournament again, I know some people wanted our retroactive thoughts on how this tournament went, if we would even ever would do something like this again. I don't know that we would. This was just like a random idea we had, right?
Yeah, one time we played all of our worst Keyforge decks, and that was like some of the most miserable I've ever been recording.
It was horrible. This, however,
it was
really fun.
There were lots of like spikes and stuff like that, and and like there were a lot of decks I got like kind of inspired for, and I know there are a lot of decks that went down in flames, but I was like kind of proud of how they performed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Watt Red was a deck that I was like, man, I actually wish I could play this deck with overwhelming barrages because I'm willing to bet there's something here.
I was really enjoying Bo-Katan.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny how some of those cards are just like total crutches for some of the decks, right? Like
it was clear.
Like overwhelming barrage for sure. Blue green villainy. I mean, we've seen blue-green villainies decks that don't play overwhelming barrage, and it's because you don't necessarily stick something to the board where the overwhelming barrage doesn't have damage for it, right? So
think of the bans in retrospect. The bans were like mostly what we thought they would be. I think we talked a little earlier about how I think For a Cause was like...
I think round one we might have been able to diversify the bans more.
Yeah, because it was like one ban would hit 3 decks, and that was kind of unfair to the decks that were running that stuff.
Right.
So if we were going to go back, it would probably be like we maybe only put 1 card up. We avoid duplicates across all the polls. It was really
something like that.
It was really difficult to do in the first round, of course.
Yeah, because there were so many egregious cards.
Yeah. Then if we did that, I think some cards that didn't necessarily deserve to get banned would have gotten banned first round.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a bad
thing. If you're like looking at like a tournament as a whole, you have cards like Fenn Rau and Razor Crest getting banned, which I think are like perfectly reasonable cards, whereas you have cards like Perilous Position go completely untouched through the whole tournament. So
Rebels have a great revenge. Oh yeah, the Rebels looking really good. I think. So I think we'll got to figure something else for our remaining Star Wars content till.
Yeah.
Probably just playing some of the PQ decks.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, we could go visit some meta stuff. Would like to play some Keyforge Discovery.
Yeah, we want to play Keyforge Discovery, and then we have a Doomling stream. Did you get some Discovery?
Yeah, I've got some Discovery. Cool. So I want to play some Keyforge Discovery. The only thing I've really heard about the set is that Brobnar's got like too much Amber Destruction. But the set looks, I don't know, it looks like a great entry point just from like some of the decks and stuff that I've seen from it. It probably looks more like really the style of Keyforge that I enjoy.
Yeah, same.
Not necessarily the tokens of change or the Grim Reminder style where the decks are like just crazy powerful.
And so I think we probably will do Doomlings maybe tomorrow.
Sure, and we could do Keyforge on Wednesday.
And Keyforge Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I think
that'll give us a week to come up with some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, so. I think I'm actually not going to be around next Sunday, probably.
Okay, all right.
So we'll return to Keyforge next Monday. Or, I'm sorry, we'll return to Star Wars next Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the preview. So there you go.
Yep. I will contact the person that has won this Nalase after the stream to get some infos from them. Congratulations.
Do we want to take a look at the brackets real fast?
We can't look at the brackets because they're email addresses.
Okay. All right. Can't look at the brackets. I thought that was like part of the reason why we're not going to look at the brackets on stream, just to avoid giving everybody's email addresses out there. Not that we're like, I don't think we're like necessarily a towering YouTube presence where people will get crazy stuff. It's just
I'm still respecting privacy.
It's still good OPSEC. We're not gonna do that. So, but yeah, congratulations to the winner. Hope you enjoyed the Nalase showcase more than I did.
Ideas for like we might want to think about ideas for like next sets, Star Wars stuff. Like another tournament. I really like doing the tournament.
Yeah,
itself.
Some sort of tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had talked about doing a tournament going into the third set, or maybe it was the second set.
Yeah, are bans the only way to like regulate a tournament like that? Even if we were playing like good leaders, I think some good leaders would struggle down the stretch if like the good cards got banned. But
the problem is like meta decks developing as the tournament's happening when the set first comes out.
Right.
And maybe like a deck or a leader loses early that ends up with a really cool meta build that we were way far off base from.
Yeah. Right.
Just in our construction. So I mean, I do like our sort of let's play every leader once. Let's build a deck. With it. You take sometimes the event card red Bold Resistance.
That's the card that gives units with a trait raid 2.
Is it +3 or +2 +0 for the phase, or is it? It costs 3. Is that the one?
I think it costs 3.
I feel like that card is so hard to.
I think that card is much better for limited than it is in constructed. Constructed taxes actions significantly.
Think about like the Leia game.
Limited is taxed on resources over the course of a game, right? Yeah. And limited, like in booster draft or sealed, you will almost always win because of some sort of card advantage. You can win with tempo, but card advantage goes a long way in limited, right? If my 2-drop kills your 2-drop, sure, you got 3 damage in, but then my 2-drop could possibly trade into your 3-drop, right? And et cetera, et cetera. However, in constructed, the decks are much more focused, and like their win cons are like way more locked in, and the actions are so much more efficient. So the reason why Django Tarkintown is like, especially early on in this meta cycle, was such a threat is that if you triple Dark Raid, this is one action that puts a unit into play, usually damages an opponent's unit, also gets to exhaust a unit, and then on your next action you get to attack with that unit and it can go back to your hand, right? So that's why like triple Dark Raid's so absurd. So yes, you lose tempo as far as card resources in play, but you gain like 4 actions worth of tempo from one event, right? So a card like Bold Resistance, there's also the card from the first set that costs like 3 and gives all of your units raid 2. The Bold Resistance that gives +2 +0, but there's a card that gives raid 2 to all of your units. It's like it's a double red, double aggression card. But like that card's another one where it's a very similar ability, but one, you have to have units in play, and in constructed, your opponent is doing what they can to minimize that. And then you have to use an action to do that. So you've telegraphed to your opponent, hey, I'm doing this thing now. And you get set up for answers like an overwhelming barrage or an outmaneuver, things like that could just like wipe out multiple units.
Like Leia could have played that card. I actually looked at it for a brief second, but like think about all the times Leia had enough units in play to get that buff.
Yeah.
Usually you just want to be attacking with them instantly to get the damage in.
So in Magic aggro decks, cards like there's a lot of like haste and other stuff where you would play stuff first main phase, then attack with it because you get extra bonuses. Like there's a lot of those games where if Justin plays a red 3 to try to attack with an A-wing, the A-wing just dies.
Yeah, exactly. Then
something happens to it.
3 damage.
Right? You lost out on all the damage. So you're better off guaranteeing the 3 damage, and then that kind of encourages your opponent to go do something else with their action. Mm-hmm. And then you play the thing that buffs on the second. So yeah,
you like lose out on damage in the moment, but you gain action economy. You gain some like security.
Yeah. Now there may come a time where cards like that are good in the game. Cards that buff your whole board. There may come a time
especially
where that's
with tokens.
Good. Yeah,
because I mean, even the tokens do have a fighter trait. You know.
Yes, they do share traits, so it can be good. But we need you like. There's like a couple of check marks about things that need to exist in the game and how the meta needs to change before cards like that get really playable and constructed. And so until that happens, like the cards like that, maybe a one-off. You might be able to trick some people with it, but like playing against like a blue villainy control deck where they like super laser blast you or something like that.
Horrible.
Like you're just you're really in bad shape. So you're better off like. The more I built decks in the current meta, the fewer events I put into them. And so the more units that had plus like lots of upside went into decks. And then you play a smattering of events. So that way, in the couple of windows during the game where those events are good, you've got one of them and then you can play it. Takedown situationally really powerful. Overwhelming Barrage, obviously, but even cards like Open Fire, or daring raid at the right time in the game can really swing momentum for you. But most of the time, like the Obi-Wan deck, right? The Obi-Wan deck slowly morphed into like 40-something dudes because cards like Obi-Wan's Aether Sprite, who have a come into play effect, like they're doing stuff while also coming into play, and then you get value once they're on the board. So stuff like that, the way the game is constructed,
like you get essentially 2 actions with 1 card.
Yeah.
That's
right.
why the most playable units when played.
That's why ECL is so disgusting, because it's like at a bare minimum of 2 actions, but depending on the unit, like say Wrecker is really 3 actions worth if you ECL it, because you get Wrecker's come into play effect, you get Wrecker's attack, and then you also get to play a unit, right? And plus Wrecker does like a 1 bajillion damage when he comes into play. So, that's the thing, is like forward constructed action economy is so much more powerful. That's why there are times in constructed where it is correct to ignore whatever's in play and just seize the initiative, because you need the first action of the next turn or you lose.
Yep. Right.
That's why that's so powerful, and that's why I ultimately think the initiative mechanic is a very good mechanic, because playing optimally, like resource efficient, we should say, isn't optimal necessarily. Because if I want to use all of my actions in a game, I can just die to my opponent doing the required amount of damage to kill me as their first action if they seize initiative. So having to avoid that's the thing. I think what the game really needs is some mid-rangey stuff that just makes it so that decks can just not ignore the table.
Yeah, Chewbacca is probably good for that, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, so that's like the Chewbacca unit is one of those that feels close to that style of card where you put him in play, and whenever he gets attacked, you get to ready him, right? The problem is his stats are kind of bad for his cost. And that's because a lot of the keywords in this game, with the exception of maybe ambush, a lot of the keywords in this game you really pay a premium for. Sentinel is one, and grit is insane how much you pay resource wise for grit to be on a unit.
Even that we saw that pilot that got spoiled. The pilot, his unit side is 3 for a 2/3 grit, which is probably the worst unit.
It's the worst pilot we've seen.
Yeah,
for sure.
He pilots what is it +3/+3 and gives something grit for 3, which is
I mean
really
3
good.
Toughness and grit is,
or is it +2/+3?
It's maybe
that pilot is pretty good.
Yeah,
but the unit on that pilot is horrible.
Right,
that's like almost unplayable.
Yeah, and the thing about, I mean, the reason that you pay a premium for grit, it's like the when we had that. Thank you for the follow. We had that game a long time ago where overwhelming barrage on Fifth Brother was like 12 damage.
Yeah.
Because
damage the Fifth Brother to give it more damage on it.
You're right. Fifth Brother was like somewhat buffed. I think he may have had like 1 or 2.
Lightsaber maybe.
Yeah, a lightsaber where he had like 1 or 2 experience counters on him. So the Fifth Brother overwhelming barrage and dumped a bunch of the damage onto himself to give himself raid, and so his attack was then like 12. And that's one of those where, like, if your opponent just takes the initiative and they don't have any reactions, you're just like, okay, well, die. That situation doesn't appear all the time, and as we've played more, Fifth Brother's stat line is really bad at that point in the curve. Yeah, really bad at that point in the curve. But I think you need some stuff in the mid game that changes the way people interact with each other. A lot too many 4, 5, and 6 drops hit the table with no immediate effect. Cards like Riken are good, in my opinion. Yep. They're playable because he gives Sentinel, and that's powerful. Because Sentinel is a powerful ability, but you do pay attacks on your unit stats for Sentinel. So a lot of Sentinels die to the stuff at the curve where they get played. So
the 3/3 for 3 Sentinels are like the most egregious example.
I think they are. Yeah, they're way
like really hard to play.
Yeah, they dies the Battlefield Marines, right? Yeah. But I do think that a lot of the changes in the next set, a lot of like the units change up the way that mid game looks on paper. like the Iden. It's a 4/3 shielded for 4. So you can play her, and then she can attack, and then you can play the Corvus or whatever it's called on the next turn, and it lets you attach a pilot unit or attachment to something else. And then she says when she becomes attached, she gets to add a shield. So that's like some tempo there. Is that good enough? I don't know.
It's pretty good. It seems pretty good.
Yeah.
What that made me realize also is that all those pilots are like when this is attached and not when it's played.
Some of them,
attachment.
so you have to look. Some of them are so like because I was looking at Mauler Mythal and Backstabber, they're both when they are played as an attachment.
Okay.
And Iden specifically says when she is attached. So you do have to look at that.
So I was looking like Survivor's Gauntlet.
Yeah, Survivor's Gauntlet would be really good with her. I think Survivor's Gauntlet is just a good card because it is one of those you get multiple actions for the thing that you do. So Final Showdown. Yeah, so Final Showdown is an interesting card.
You play it when it'll win you the game.
Yeah,
it's probably a good one of.
Vigilance
deck or double cunning decks.
Yeah, I mean you could even play it in a not double cunning deck, right? Because there might be a situation where 2 attacks from your leader kill your opponent, right? I could see it being really good on 10 resources, where you get to cunning and give something +4/+0, and then Final Showdown in the same turn. But we're talking about like later in the game scenarios to win it.
It's probably a good like sideboard option against some
control. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, they tap out for like an Avenger or whatever, and then you have 10 resources, and then you can do something where you get to just hit them for like 20 damage, anywhere from 16 to 20 damage, and just finish them off. That's where Final Showdown's probably good. I don't know that decks that really can take advantage of it right now exist. Once again, we find ourselves in the problem of like the early game is like too efficient right now,
and it just like the first 4 or 5 turns are pretty much decide the entire game, right?
Yeah,
For most decks,
right? Yeah,
most matchups.
Yeah, there's not enough. Like I think the actions that cost 5, 6, 7, 8. That action slot in the game is pretty bad, in my opinion. A lot of those are just, they're not really playable. And so you have like the Forced Surrender, like if you damage an opponent, you draw 2 cards.
How can you ever play that card?
That card costs 6, right? Like on paper, this sounds disgusting against control decks, but I don't know how you're ever supposed to actually like play that in the middle of a game. It'd be crazy. One card that I think is interesting is the one event where 2 units in the same arena deal damage to each other. There's a possibility that card is good, because it could create a 2-for-1. Maybe.
Do you think power creep on events is acceptable in this game at this point? Because we talked about how units aren't really power creeping because like cost per units attack and toughness versus like their keywords and stuff has kept within the same sort of bounds. But like events are way harder to play because they're generally just doing one thing.
Cad Bane unit plus Dryden Voss just win bigger. Yes, Cad Bane unit is a good card because Cad Bane does something as soon as he hits the table, and he can help stabilize if you are behind. Right, Cad Bane can answer up 3 units, and if you watch a lot of games and like in my head, I'm constantly playing back through games that we've played. Or just like board states, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of board states where your opponent has 3 cards that might all just kill you. You need something for these. That's why Cunning is a really good card. And there's not like a whole lot of double yellow decks outside of Han 1 right now. But Cunning is a really good card because it can tap 2 and bounce a 3rd, right? And so there's a lot of board states where that's an answer. There's nothing that even comes close.
When are we going to see double aspect cards, like green-red cards?
I don't know. That might be like a year 3 thing, right? To get kind of splashy with it.
Yeah. Because that's like design space we haven't even touched on yet.
I like the bases in this set. I think the design space around the bases is really cool. You've got. Have we seen the yellow base yet? I think that's the only one we haven't seen.
No, we have not. No, I don't think we are seeing event power creep, but we were talking about all these events that just aren't playable because they cost too much for too little effect on the game.
Yeah, they do design stuff for limited.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. They do design for limited. So a lot of this stuff is kind of like limited filler. Because there are random cards that will win you games in limited that I've considered for constructed decks. Like Disarm is one. You give somebody -4, -0. That costs 1, right? A lot of these decks, you would play a card that says pay 1, gain 4 life.
Yeah. And some Twin Suns design too. Yeah.
Correct.
For that card, isn't it each opponent?
Disarm
is not Disarm the 6 cost event.
The Forced Surrender?
Yeah.
I think it might be. It might be.
Because that makes it like way better, way more playable, right?
Yeah, it's disgusting in Twin Suns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, they've designed cards for a lot of formats. So just because something doesn't have a home in Premier doesn't mean it doesn't have a home elsewhere. So, and this game is really good limited, like really good limited. I wish I could get people back to playing it regularly in the store that I work at again. Because draft for this game is insane. Like some of the best games of card games I've played were in Star Wars Unlimited Draft, especially set 1. Like you're playing a game, like I played a game that went to fatigue, right? We answered each other back and forth,
double fatigue,
and we both
died.
Fatigued.
Yeah,
we died to the same fatigue. We died at the same time. He had 6 left. I had 3 left. We go to draw our cards.
It literally can't get closer than that.
Having some luck with once a month draft. Yeah, I would be happy for that at this point. Because the third set seemed way better for limited than the second set. But I only got to play like a handful of the third set booster draft.
Maybe set 4 will draw people back. If it's set 4 limited, probably is really cool.
Yeah, it's just space battles the whole time.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Space battles the whole
big old ships beating each other up.
So the thing about like the first set in limited was, if my opponent beat me to death with spaceships, I would pivot my game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the fun thing about limited, in my opinion. It wasn't just I drafted something busted. Let me win with the busted thing. It was like, because of the nature of the game, I could change my game plan for games 2 and 3 if I lost either game 1 or 2, to try to see how I could eke out a win. So, yeah. Right.
That's successfully padded time so that YouTube viewers watching the last game won't be spoiled.
Yeah,
there's plenty of time left. Maybe there's a last game.
Yeah, YouTube viewers, we tricked you.
You're still listening to us.
Yeah, roasted.
Actually, statistically, you're not listening to us right now.
Third set was good for draft if you banned Anakin. Otherwise, it was a bunch of anties at the top.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hoping there'll be some interest with the new sets. Sadly, the big money cards to pull as part of the attraction. I do think the new set will have
the new set's legendaries look like
the legendaries in the new set look way better. But yeah, I mean, I do think that was a problem for the second set. Was like you had 3 cards you could hit. In the first set, it was like if you pulled a legendary, you more or less paid for your draft. You pulled like a home one, it was like $12, right? You know, that's pretty close to paying for your draft right there. So
don't be afraid of drafting. You just got to get in there. Just have fun.
Yeah, just have fun with it. Drafting is a skill.
Yeah, you only get better at it.
The only way to develop it is to do it.
Yep,
it's that simple. So it's you're making a bunch of cost benefit analysis decisions. You make like 40 of those in a row,
and it feels so good.
Yeah,
when you made
the right
when
ones.
Stuff's like coming together, it's a great feeling.
So,
all right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
this has been a fun tournament.
Yeah.
Another tomorrow.
On the topic of value, there was another thing about the first set is like you could pull like a hyperspace foil version of like an uncommon, and that shit was like $12.
Oh yeah,
$10 to $12 just because it was like impossible to get, and people like collectors wanted all that stuff. So anyway, sorry. But yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Keyforge Wednesday.
Yeah,
and then we'll get back to Star Wars next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
All right.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Enjoy that Super Bowl or whatever you guys do.